Another cold and rainy day here at GoValiants.com field for a huge Mac Freedom battle between the visiting Devils of Fairleigh Dickinson University Florham campus and the Valiants of Manhattanville College. Casey Sherman alongside Tyson Agler bringing you the action here from Purchase, New York. And this is one of the biggest games of the year so far for Manhattanville, a game that could determine the fate of their season. Taking a look quickly at the Mac Freedom standings to kick off the broadcast, a win tonight coupled with a win by DeSales University tomorrow against King's College and a loss by Delaware Valley University tonight against Misericordia University would give Manhattanville their first postseason berth since joining the MAC in 2008. Now Tyson, projections are exactly what they say. They are just projections. But you might imagine that, looking at the matchups, Misericordia is unbeaten in conference play this year and King's College having a bit of a down year as well. So it would look that a win tonight would put Manhattanville in a very good position to make the postseason.
Definitely agree with you there, Casey. But as you say, you don't play the game on paper, you play it on the field, so you never know what could happen here in this competitive MAC Freedom Conference. Could see, hopefully, one of these teams, Manhattanville, coming out on top, but it's going to be a tough task going up against FDU, a team that's been solid all season.
As we said, a win tonight would put Manhattanville in great position going into the final game of the regular season. However, a loss would be extremely detrimental to their year, as FDU is also in a tie for fourth place at 2-3, and a loss could give FDU a potential tiebreaker over the Valiants. So, Tyson, this is pretty much a must-win game for Manhattanville.
Definitely. Really don't see a whole lot of situations where Manhattanville doesn't get in with a loss to FDU. You got to take care of business here today and then worry about yourself. Don't worry about the other games. And if you can get the win here today, get the win on the road at Canes and get yourself in the conference tournament for the first time in program history.
A game tonight that's set to be a high-scoring affair. Manhattanville has scored over 13 goals in both of their conference wins this year. And they're going up against the Devil defense that has conceded the most goals this season among MAC Freedom schools. Despite the poor defense, however, FDU does have the top two goal scorers in the conference, which we will get to in just a few moments. And as a team, they have scored the second most goals in the conference this year, averaging close to 10 goals per contest. Couple milestones to watch for in tonight's game for Manhattanville senior Andrew Murray, 6 goals away from reaching 100 goals for his career. And senior Ed Motherway, 1 game-winning goal away from tying the program record in that category. And for the Devils, head coach Pat Scarpello is looking for win number 125 at the helm of the Devils. So on that note, let's get to know the Devils a little bit better. FDU comes into today's game 2-3 in their last 5 contests. They fell to Misericordia on Saturday 14-8. One big advantage they do have over Manhattanville is in the face-off circle, where they win 46% of their face-offs that they take. Will Kenny, the face-off specialist, will make it 100 face-off wins for the season with his first win in the circle tonight. And as we said, FDU has the top 2 scorers in the conference this season, and they are both just freshmen. Not a good sign if you're an opposing coach in this league. Let's take a look at those players to watch. 2 of them, as we mentioned, the top 2 scorers in the league. First one, Alec Orazzetti from Bernardsville, New Jersey. Already with 38 goals and 12 assists for the season, good for 50 points. He scored in every single game this year, put home 6 shots against Stockton earlier this year, and 5 goals in league play against Delaware Valley. The first team All-State in high school when he went to Watchung Hills Regional High School in New Jersey. And joining him on the attack is John Bellinger from Kinnelon, New Jersey. 36 goals to go with 12 assists for 48 points this year. He's only been held scoreless twice in the season, and he also has games with over 5 goals scored, scoring 6 against Rosemont and 5 against Muhlenberg earlier in non-conference play. Final player to watch, midfielder Dalton Rimmer, named the MAC Freedom All-Conference as a sophomore, leads the team in assists with 17 helpers, and he has 33 points on the year. He's recorded a point in 11 of 14 games so far this season. And as we mentioned, the Devils are led by 16th year mentor Pat Scarpello. He's assisted by Jonathan Freitag and Lance O'Donovan. And now getting to know the Valiants a little bit better. Manhattanville 2-3 in their last 5 games, picking up a huge come-from-behind win against Misericordia this weekend, 13-12. The final score here on Senior Day this weekend. Andrew Murray scored 3 goals in the fourth quarter to help complete the comeback. And on the offensive end, the Valiants boast the best shooting percentage in the conference, scoring on 31% of shots that they take, the only team above 30% this season. Senior Andrew Murray will be the best option on the offensive end. As we mentioned, the Yonkers native needs 6 goals to reach 100 for his career. He's listed as a senior but does have a medical hardship if he chooses to use it, finishing up his graduate studies here at Manhattanville. Scored 5 goals and added 2 assists on Saturday against Wilkes, 6 in the conference in goals scored this season. Fellow senior Colin Morrissey has also picked it up as of late, 16 goals on the year, 7 of those coming in conference play. And finally, California native freshman Will Duvall, catalyst on the offensive end, oftentimes quarterbacks the offense. He leads the team in assists and is second on the team in goals. He has just 1 goal in his last 3 games, but look for him to break out of his slump tonight against the Devils, where multiple Valiant attack options should help create space for him on the offensive end. And the Valiants are led by third-year mentor Ryder Bolander. He's assisted by Shane Wilson and Justin Schneidman. We will get to your goalie matchup, starters, and final notes on today's game in just a few moments after the national anthem is played here at GoValiants.com field. National anthem played here at GoValiants.com field. Starting lineups being introduced. Let's take a look at the last line of defense for both of these squads here today. The goalie matchup. Today it's going to be a matchup of senior versus sophomore, as Zach Hoffman gets the nod in the crease for Manhattanville, and he will go up against Tom Tornetto for the Devils. Hoffman comes into the game a 9.88 goals against average, 53% save percentage. You can find his name in the Valiant record book multiple times. He ranks 8th in save percentage, 5th in goals against average, 5th in minutes played, and 4th in wins in program history for Manhattanville. He already has a new career high in wins this year, and he's looking to add to that total tonight. Tornetto, he comes into the game a 10.79 goals against average, 558 save percentage, and like Hoffman, he has the goalie decision for every game for FDU this season. He's made 17 or more saves in a game 4 times this year, most recently stopping 20 shots against Misericordia on Saturday. And now the starting lineups for both of these squads. FDU up top. On the attack, they're going to have John Ballinger, Alec Orizetti, and Michael Warg. In the midfield, Dan Sagel, Dalton Rimmer, and the long pole, Dan Decker. And on the defensive end, Nick Grasso, Mike Gardner, Michael Andrenga, and Tom Tornetto in the crease. And for the Valiants, here's their starting lineups. Up top, Colin Morrissey, Will Duvall, and Tristan Green are the attackers. In the midfield, Soya Godo, he's the long pole, Andrew Murray, and TJ Cacavo. And on the defensive end, Chris Asen, Connor Keogh, Ryan Leonard, and in the crease, Zach Hoffman. the head official of today's crew, Brian Luchsinger, and the umpires, Kaz DeLillo and Robert Bonillo. So as we said, a huge matchup for today for Manhattanville. Starters will have their meeting at midfield with the officiating crew. And as we said, it has been raining very heavily here today. We have the tent up on top of the press box, but the weather has been causing a couple technical difficulties this week, as it has been a very wet and soggy week here in Purchase, New York. So we will do our best as we can to keep you up to date and keep things going here as smoothly as possible throughout the day. As the teams break the huddle with the officiating crew at midfield, it's going to be Andrew Murray taking the draw for Manhattanville, going up against Dalton Rimmer for the Devils. Manhattanville in their black uniforms with the white numbers and white trim this afternoon, normally in their white uniforms here at GoValiants.com field. And FDU in their white uniforms with navy numbers and red trim, and the face-off, and we are underway here. And the Devils control the opening face-off, so that gives them the early advantage. And like we said, that's something to look out for all day today. They work this one back to Tornetto, and he will set up the offense from their own end. Here now, 15 seconds gone. FDU trying to set up the attack, throwing that one away. Loose ball on the ground. Valiants trying to get to it and finally picked up by Morrissey, and now they look to counter. Again, as we said, we apologize for the rain making things difficult for today's stream, but our crew trying to keep things up and running for as long as possible. And the Valiants with the possession in the offensive end early on here. Morrissey goes to the turf, a very slick surface here today as the rain is coming down very heavily right now. Now Kakavo trying to go to attack, goes to the left wing and is cut off nicely by Andrenga, and he circles back up to the top of the zone. And now Andrew Murray tries to go on the attack, lost him momentarily, stripped away, and taken by Andrenga. Manhattanville, a very easy, successful clear on their first attempt. And now they look to get into their offensive set. A giveaway the last time down the field as a pass was off the mark to Andrew Murray. Now Motherway enters the zone. He's guarded by Stewart. And now Benchritz will take it. Now entry pass to Murray, fires that one high. But right there for the Valiants is Duvall, and they will keep possession. Duvall goes around the pick behind the cage, and now circles it up top to Motherway, and he continues it along now to Bencherwitz. Skip pass, missed Murray, goes right to Duvall. And he's bothered by Andrenga, but keeps possession, and now will reset the offense. Just about 5 minutes gone now in the first half. 1-0 FDU. Bellinger, the opening goal for the Devils. Morrissey looking to respond, trying to fight off the defender. Turnaround shot. That one saved nicely by Tornado. Ground ball still loose on the ground, and Motherway's going to come away with it. Valiants will keep possession. Not sure how much you can tell on the stream, but the rain coming down a little more steadily once again. You can see a number of umbrellas on the far side of the field in the bleachers. Crossed the zone. Finding Green was Bencherwitz. Green unable to put it home. Another point-blank save there by Tornado. So the sophomore 2 for 2 in goal to start the game as he looks to get some confidence going in the early goings here. Tornado throws this one upfield, and again a giveaway by the Devils. And like we said, if they have an Achilles heel, it's their play from their own end of their field. Nice spin move there by Duvall to get into the zone. And so the Valiants have been unable to capitalize on their offensive chances, but they have had a few possessions now in the attacking end. This is their fourth chance to go to goal, thanks in part to a couple FDU turnovers. Now Murray going left, flings that one on goal, and another save there by Tornado along the near post.
Murray shot that one right at Tornado's chest. An easy save there for the sophomore. Usually see Murray trying to get that one on the far post, but unable to get that one to go.
And another giveaway by the Devils. That pass off the mark, having a tough time getting some clears going, but now trying to force a turnover in midfield, and knocked away and taken away by Decker. And we said Manhattanville does struggle at times against the long pole that's aggressive. Decker already stripping the ball away twice today, unable to get a turnover on the first one, but that time they do come away with possession. Bellinger now guarded by Kelvis, looking for some help on the right wing. Rimmer holding this one now in the neutral zone. Kakavo trying to guard him there now, stepping into the zone and pulling it right back out was Guido. Now Guido back across into the offensive end. Looking for someone inside. Unable to find anyone there. Now gets this one back up top. Orizzetti guarded tightly. Now gets it back to Bellinger. Bellinger thought about the shot, gives it up, and a skip shot goes by Hoffman. That one coming off the stick of Matt Melnick, his 7th of the year, puts FDU on top 2-0. Again, we apologize for the weather making things difficult here today. While we were gone, Will Duvall finding the back of the net for the Valiants, a man-up goal for Manhattanville. 1 for 1 on the day so far on man-up opportunities. And now FDU trying to respond. Ball loose on the ground. Bellinger going for the loose ball and finally records the ground ball. But a foul going to be called against Orizetti, and a turnover going back to Manhattanville. As we said, the man-up goal scored by Manhattanville. FDU, the first penalty of the game in this contest, and they lead the conference in penalties taken at 6.5 penalties a game, so a couple man-up opportunities should be coming from Manhattanville in this one. But
yeah.
It's going to be FDU going man-up in just a few moments.
Just going to say that, Casey. Eric Sparby getting a little bit too aggressive on that one, trying to get the ball back, and now probably a frustration foul as he lost possession of it.
No hurry here for the Devils. 2:50 to play in the opening quarter. 2-1 the score in favor of FDU. Again, penalty coming to Sparby on the next time Manhattanville gets possession. FDU trying to cancel it out with a goal here at even strength. Looking to go behind the cage to Warg. Cut off and gives it up to Guido. Now across to Stewart. Inside shot attempt, nice save by Hoffman, and he corrals the loose ball, and we will get that penalty coming up against Manhattanville. So FDU will keep possession here. Melnick the shot from the left side. Penalty's actually going to go against Jake Caton for the cross check rather than Sparby, and it's going to be a 1-minute infraction. FDU will go man up for the first time here this afternoon. On the year, 28% man up, 28 of 99, their 100th chance on the man advantage this season. Quick ball movement here by the Devils in this possession. Bellinger from the right side, that one goes wide of the cage.
Kind of an odd angled shot there for Bellinger as he tried to sneak that one in near post but missed wide.
Bellinger not afraid to shoot. Like we said, 37 goals now on the year with his first tally of the day. Second in the MAC Freedom. And Orizetti has yet to become very much involved in the offense here today. It's been all Bellinger running the show so far, and a turnover as Godo went to pick it up, lost it due to the wet surface here. And the Devils will keep possession. As coming down with it was Bellinger on the ground ball.
Good defensive play there by Sam Hahn as he was able to get his stick in the way of the shot, was able to deflect it away. And now FDU turns it over, so now Manhattanville can chew up the rest of this clock here.
Should be a successful successful kill for the Valiants. As Godo playing with the short stick now, man down, gets this one across, and he will head to the sideline to get that normal twig back in his hands, and a clear, good for the Valiants, and we are back to even strength. Kakavo working his way into the zone, tried to bully his way in towards the crease, but a nice save again by Tornetto as he continues to pile up the saves here in the first quarter, and another penalty coming against Manhattanville on the far sideline.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to say Will Duvall got a little bit too physical there on the push. Or excuse me, Colin Morrissey. So Casey, you mentioned that FDU is the one that usually has the penalties called against them, but now 2 straight penalties against Manhattanville here late in the first quarter.
And the Valiants a pretty good man-down defense on the season. 73% entering the game, only giving up 7 man-down goals on the year. They've only been man-down 26 times coming into the game. So polar opposites in terms of penalties taken between these two squads, as that one goes just wide of the net off the stick of Rimmer. And one of the big reasons for that man-down defense for Manhattanville is when they do take a penalty, it's usually only a 30-second minor infraction, so not much time for the offense to set up, as we have here in this one, as that shot goes wide onto the back of the cage, and we are back to even strength. And now wide open in the middle of the field is Kakavo, and he will take this one upfield himself. And Device, another successful clear, going right to cages Kakavo, and another save nicely by Tornetto on the skipping shot.
Kakavo had an opening, decided to take the shot, but a nice save there by Tornetto yet again, as he's looked very well in between the pipes. Final heaved by the Devils trying to get one last shot on goal.
Trying to beat the buzzer. Bellinger from a tough angle again. And that one's saved away by Hoffman, and time will run out on the clock. A low-scoring quarter here to start things from Purchase, New York. 2-1 the score in favor of FDU. And we'll be back with your second quarter of play in just a few moments. This is Manhattanville Men's Lacrosse on the Go Valiants TV network. Welcome back. 2-1 the score. And Tyson, if you're Manhattanville, what do you think were the instructions from head coach Ryder Bolander after that opening quarter?
Well, the defense has looked strong here for the Valiants, only surrendering 2 goals. Your offense has had opportunities. You've had plenty of shots on net, but I think you just got to tell him you got to try to get these shots away from Tornado. A lot of shots going into his chest area. Try to make him make a save. Trying to go maybe top shelf or maybe even try to go low on a shot attempt. We see Colin Morrissey very excellent at kind of that little slow roller shot, so we'll see if Manhattanville will try to get things going. And more importantly, you got to try to get some face-off wins like they do right here.
A big win there for Godo, and it's controlled by Kakavo on the ground ball. And Manhattanville will call timeout here to begin the second quarter of action. Trying to set up the offense and try to make things level here. We'll keep it here during the timeout. And if you look at FDU coming into the game, 6-8 overall on the season. They had a pretty decent non-conference schedule this year. Look at a couple big wins. They took down Bard College 12-7. United States Merchant Marine Academy right up here near Manhattanville. They took down Merchant Marine 10-9 earlier this year. Their losses coming to Oneonta, Farmingdale State, Arcadia, and Drew, along with Stockton. So like we said, not exactly an easy non-conference schedule for the Devils. So they are a tested squad coming into today's game and coming down the stretch in conference play. And you would imagine that that kind of experience is going to prove to be in their favor here in these last 2 regular season games as they look to make the postseason again.
Yeah, you see time and time again teams that try to pack their non-conference schedule with tough opponents, and that usually helps you more than not because you get big games out of conference that you have to get your team mentally prepared for, and that has helped the Devils as they're 2-3 and on the verge of potentially making the MAC Freedom Tournament.
And unfortunately for Manhattanville, as we said, it has not exactly been a pleasant spring here in New York, as that shot goes just wide from Leonard. And the Valiants have actually had 2 non-conference games canceled for the year, unable to get them into the schedule the rest of the way down the road. So missing out on some of that opportunity to gain experience, and Murray finds the top of the net, and he ties it up. He now needs 5 goals to get to 100.
Murray with an absolute rip from the top. He just fired that one past Tornado. And Casey, like I said, you just got to try to make shots difficult there. Try to make Tornado make a save, unable to. Andrew Murray with a blazing shot on that one as we're all knotted up at 2.
And now it looks like the rain is coming down about as heavy as it has all day. So we got to imagine, we'll see if that plays into the strategy a bit here. The rest of the way here today, this turf very wet. It's been raining consistently all day here at Manhattanville. We'll see if some of these attackers try to go for that low shot, trying to get a fast skipping shot to beat the goaltenders. As we saw a couple times already today, it's tough to handle some of those skipping balls, not only in the crease, but just in the pace of play as well. And another big face-off win for the Valiants.
Nice shot there by Murray, who was just able to kick that one along. Asen came in and was able to scoop it up. Now Manhattanville a chance to take the lead for the first time today.
Duvall looking to set up here. And a penalty coming against the Devils.
Duvall able to draw that penalty on that stick check there. Caught him just under the helmet. So Valiants will go on the man advantage in the next dead ball.
And Murray now back off the bench with his attacking stick in hand. He's taken to the ground, no call, but it will lead to a stoppage as the ground ball is controlled by Decker. And we're going to get a 1-minute slashing call against FDU going against Kyle Conrad, the sophomore attacker back on the defensive end. Excuse me, it looks like they're going to actually send Mike Gardner to the penalty box, the freshman defender. And now the Valiants 1 for 1 so far today on the man-up opportunities. Looking to take the lead here. A minute and a half gone in the second quarter.
Valiants did a nice job on that first one, just moving the ball around and getting an open shot. We'll see if the Valiants continue just some nice ball movement and try to eventually get someone open.
From the top of the point, a bouncing shot attempted. That one goes well high. And Green racing to the end line. He'll get there first and keep possession.
Leonard might have been getting a little bit too cute on that one. Just needs to send it on net and try to go for the bouncer.
Leonard changes directions over to Kakavo. Now back to Morrissey. Murray up the top, now Kakavo. Thought about the shot, gives it up to Leonard. Now Kakavo's shot, nice save along the ground there by Tornado. Ground ball picked up momentarily. Murray knocks it loose, but a foul going to be called on Andrew Murray, so possession will go to FDU, and now that should just about do it for that man-up opportunity.
Nice shot there from TJ Kakavo, but even better save there by Tornado.
Going with the low attempts, trying to get that skipping shot into the bottom corner, but Tornado read it perfectly. And again, he continues to look very impressive in goal here today. As the wind and rain continue to howl here at GoValiants.com field. All tied up, 2-2. Much lower scoring affair than we would have imagined at the top of the broadcast at this point. You would have imagined one team would have at least 4 goals by now, not a combined 4 goals, but I wonder how much the elements are playing into that and how much these teams are still just trying to feel each other out. Is that shot going along the turf? Hoffman trying to dive to the end line, just can't get there in time. And the Devils will keep possession. Guido will restart play from the far corner.
Good hustle there by Zach Hoffman, but Guido just a step ahead of the senior netminder.
Caton guarding Guido behind the cage. Circling right, trying to drop the shoulder. Now a shot from outside. That one's blocked in front by Hahn. And ground ball racing to the sideline, and it will stay with the Devils. Guido now top of the zone. Caton still remaining on Guido. Turnaround shot, that one off the mark. But again, the Devils right there on the end line to keep possession. Michael Ward will restart play. Now Bellinger will look to take this one himself. Now gives it up. Ward a shot right into the net of Hoffman. And he's being chased. He will take this one down himself. Trying to slash away over a couple players. Now Asen will get that one as Hoffman just flips it back to his junior defender. Now a slash on Asen. Ball comes loose. Looked like it may have been a little high in the helmet area. And a turnover, and the Devils capitalize. A bit of an odd sequence there. Warg eventually came away with the ground ball and fired it into what was essentially a wide open net. The ball was in the crease behind the cage, and I believe that was head coach Ryder Bolander's argument that the Devils may have tried to play that one inside the crease, which in the men's game, as with the women's, is not allowed. The refs are going to let this one stand, so FDU will go on top 3-2 now with just under 11 to play.
Yeah, kind of an interesting sequence. The ball was in the crease. Instead of letting Hoffman play, Kyle Kelvis was the one that tried to scoop up the ground ball. He was unable to handle it and went right to an FDU player, was able to bury it in the back of the net as the Devils lead once again.
Face-off win for the Devils. Dalton Rimmer collecting the ground ball. And now they look to set up the offense to go up by 2 goals here after that last tally. Warg, guarded by Kelvis, now gives it up to the top of the zone to Stewart. Now Stewart going left. Guarded by Leonard. He'll give him some space as he travels behind the goal line now. Now trying to fight his way back in front. Gives it up now to Orazzetti. And now the Devils shoot and score again. Orazzetti finding Stewart for the goal. And FDU goes up by 2.
FDU goal scored number 14, Pat Stewart. Assist number 21, Alex Orazzetti.
Orazzetti is 51st point of the season for Stewart, his 7th goal of the year. And this is going to turn into a battle of who wants it more. This is not going to be your prototypical skill play game for either squad. As we said, the elements playing a major factor in this one. Very windy, and now pretty much the rain coming down sideways at this point. As the wind blows from near side of the field to the far side. As you can see, a bunch of players going to the turf. Hard to keep your footing and keep possession in this one. FDU finally winning that faceoff, and it's going to go to Dan Decker. Bit of a miscue on the handoff, but nobody there for Manhattanville, and Bellinger will start up the offense. Playing catch with the teammate behind the cage. Now up top to Guido. Behind the cage, now up top. A shot attempt on the way from Orazzetti. A nice save down low by Hoffman. And the Devils going with some full field pressure here, trying to create some turnovers in the defensive end. That pass dangerous from Hoffman. Orazzetti just unable to get there. And Bentrowitz is able to successfully get the clear. Godo thought about the shot. He scored against the Sails a couple weeks ago, his first of the season, and now another miscue on the offensive end. As Duvall tried to get it up to Green and looked like he may have second-guessed the pass. And it weakly went right to a Devil defender.
Can't afford to have empty possessions like that. Don't even record a shot on net and you just turn it over. So now the Devils will look to add to their lead.
Ball held along the near side here by Melnick, the senior midfielder. Back up top now to Orazzetti. Guido back to Melnick, now Orazzetti. Now the ball works its way behind the cage. Tracy with it, guarded by Hahn, trying to knock it away with a couple stick checks. Back up top to Guido, and he circles around. Melnick thought about the shot, gives it up to Bellinger, double team coming, and loses possession, and a timeout called just in time by Pat Scarpello from the sideline. And FDU will keep possession with 7:52 to play, 4-2 the score from GoValiants.com field. We'll take a quick break from Purchase ourselves. We'll be back here in just a moment. back here. FDU with possession, 7:52 to play, up by 2 goals here in the second quarter. And you can hear the wind howling through the headsets here. And Tyson, we were just talking about during the timeout, it feels like we haven't had a single nice day for a home contest yet this year. It's either been extremely cold or raining or misting or something. We're just still waiting for that spring weather to arrive.
Yeah, welcome to the Northeast there. We really haven't had a whole lot of nice days, and whenever we do have a nice day, unfortunately no home games here in Manhattanville, but looking at the schedule for the rest of this week, as you saw, upcoming broadcast, Manhattanville baseball team's supposed to host Purchase tomorrow. Not sure if we're going to get that game in. Looking over at the baseball field now as we speak. Baseball and softball both be in action on Thursday, which will be a little bit warmer, and Saturday is supposed to be an absolute beautiful day for senior day for women's lacrosse, as the women's team looks to clinch a spot in the conference tournament.
Orazzetti puts that one home. His first goal of the day, 39th of the season. And Tyson, as you said, senior day on Saturday for women's lacrosse and for the baseball team. It should finally, fingers crossed, be an absolutely gorgeous day here in Purchase.
That's a big goal there by FDU. They extend their lead up to 3. Manhattanville needs a face-off victory. They need to try to get something going offensively. We saw in the win on Saturday where the Valiants struggled on just trying to get the ball and trying to set up their offense against Wilkes, and that's what led to the big comeback by the Colonels. Valiants were finally able to get things going and come away with the big victory.
Will Kenny, another face-off win for the Devils. Slight miscue, but again, no Valiants that far up in the attacking zone. And the Devils able to reclaim possession. 6:40 to go here in the second quarter. Like you said, a big possession coming up here for Manhattanville defensively. Need to get a stop and get something going offensively to try to stop the bleeding here. Three consecutive goals scored by the Devils puts them up 5-2.
Devils using the referee as a screen there, trying to get open.
Top of the zone, thought about the shot from Stewart. Now behind, cutting in front, and just unable to control the pass there was Orazzetti as he was open for a split second. And now Hahn circles behind it again. More of that full field pressure coming from the Devils, but Asen able to clear the zone and get a successful clear, and now the Valiants will set up the offense.
Need something here on this offensive possession. Not, desperation, you need a goal, but you just need some kind of shot on net, trying to get something going offensively.
Motherway being guarded by Decker. Trying to use a couple stick checks to draw the ball loose. Motherway able to get by, though, and now gets it behind to Green. Morrissey back to Duvall. Lions trying to switch up their personnel. Didn't exactly have the look they wanted. Tyler Benchowitz making his way on offensively. Connor Keogh heading back to the defensive end. And Benchowitz will go to work against Sagal. Now gives it across, wide open was Duvall. That shot goes wide. Green will grab a ball on the end line and he will restart play. 4:45 to play in the half. Benchowitz going left, giving a nice little shove, finds Murray. Murray's shot, kick save by Tornetto. Rebound opportunity goes off the post.
Good job there by Morrissey, able to collect the ball, but just sends it wide as it hit off the post. Ryan, so they get some life on the offensive side, so the defense once again has to step up, make a defensive stand, and try to get your offense back the ball.
And we said a few moments ago, on a day like today, you would try to take advantage of the elements as much as they do not play in your favor. Sometimes the wet turf can give you an advantage on the offensive end, but Tornetto has been looking low all day and has done an excellent job of stopping the low shots, so you got to imagine Manhattanville may have to start looking top shelf like Murray did when he scored his first goal of the game, and now there's that skipping ball as that one will skip across the turf and out of play. Another turnover by the Devils. Now Manhattanville a chance to get back within 2.
Valiants waiting for the whistle on the restart. Now Kakavo will go as he's going to be shoved hard. Now kicked head and a turnover by the Valiants.
Immediate turnover there on the restart, so that opportunity goes by the wayside, and the defense will have to go back to work.
Yeah, unfortunate play. Kakavo was ready to go, but the official taking his time there on that restart, and that was able to give the Devils a chance to get their defense set, and they basically just collapsed around Kakavo and caused a turnover.
Now behind the cage, Bellinger. Bellinger guarded right there in front, trying to fight his way through. Left-hand shot goes home, as Sam Carlton just couldn't do enough to slow him down. And it's now 6-2 in favor of the Devils.
Yeah, Carlton just kind of kept hustling around. Finally found an open window, was able to fire it past Hoffman for the goal. And now that offense is going, but unfortunately it's going all for the Devils as they've scored 4 unanswered to turn this tied contest to a 4-goal advantage.
And Tyson, you said it earlier today, Manhattanville is definitely a first-half team. They've been outscored in the second half overall on the season, especially in the third quarter. So these next, say, 18 minutes and change of game action are going to be extremely important in this one. Off the restart, face-off won by the Devils. Will Kenny going right to the cage, and the bouncing shot goes high. And a violation against the Devils, and a lucky break for Manhattanville. They will retake possession, and now we'll see what they can set up offensively. A big slash from behind by Bellinger, causing what nearly is a turnover. Ball still loose. And finally, Bellinger grabs it. In front, wide open was Orizzetti. A big save by Hoffman. And we have an FDU player down on the turf. It's Ty Tracy. May have gotten caught up in that fight for the loose ball.
Yeah, Bellinger came in, took the ball away from Caton, and then Caton tried to return the favor and take it away from Tracy, and might have caught Tracy. And like you said, Casey, both teams fighting for the ball, so he's a little bit slow to get up. It will be Manhattanville ball after that save by Hoffman, which was a great save. A wide open FDU player on the doorstep. Hoffman with a big save keeps it just a 4-goal deficit. And you mentioned the third quarter woes for Manhattanville, Casey. The good news for Manhattanville is that FDU also struggling in the third quarter as well coming into the contest. The Devils have been outscored in the third quarter. 44-31, Manhattanville 38-22 they've been outscored, so the third period of 15 minutes will definitely determine a long way who will go on to win this contest.
And that last save by Hoffman could very well be a momentum shifter in this contest, as Orizzetti was wide open on the doorstep, the conference's leading scorer, and Hoffman shut the door with a great save from point-blank range. And now we'll see if Manhattanville can take advantage on the offensive end, as somehow the rain continues to fall harder and harder here. Leonard into the zone, bouncing shot again, got caught up in his net. That's twice now that he went for a bouncing shot and really got nothing on it.
Luckily for Leonard, though, a few Valiants behind the net to play that one, as they'll still keep possession. 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
And again, look to Andrew Murray in situations like this. They did that last game, as Murray scored 3 consecutive goals in the fourth quarter to help complete the comeback against Wilkes and really keep the season alive for Manhattanville. One of the best one-on-one attackers in the conference. He shoots from a tough angle, and that one just misses the left post.
Murray going with that move that he loves, where he'll drive to one side and then try to go opposite top shelf on the other side, just missing the post on that one.
Valiants keep possession. Motherway, top of the zone. Motherway with some space. He goes for the bouncing shot again, just high of the cage. Green racing for it, and he will get there first. And he'll keep possession for Manhattanville. This time it was Nick Grasso diving for the end line, and now we've got a Valiant shaken up behind the cage.
Yeah, you saw the FDU player trying to go for the dive on that one, and that might have actually hurt him. If he was stayed on his feet, he might have been able to try to beat Green. Instead, left his feet probably a second too early, and Green was able to come there. As the Valiant player jogging off the field.
Yeah, Colin Morrissey a bit shaken up, but coming off pretty quickly, so that's got to be a good sign for Manhattanville. And again, we keep saying the turf very slick here this afternoon, this playing surface, but you got to imagine if you think back to about a year ago, a day like today, this playing surface would have been nearly impossible to keep your footing with the old turf. Major upgrades coming this past summer to GoValiants.com field. And now a slash on Murray. Chance to score despite the penalty. That one I think went to, and it does. A bouncing shot goes home for Andrew Murray. Give him 2 now today. He's now scored 5 of the last 6 Manhattanville goals.
Yeah, Murray just doing what Andrew Murray does best. He's just able to drive towards the net, fend off a few defenders, a few penalties as well, and going down on the ground, basically being tackled by the Devil defense, still able to somehow get that one to go. And a big goal there by Manhattanville. If they get one more back here, they might have the opportunity to maybe try to take the lead in the third quarter.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that goal canceled out the penalty. And it did not. So Manhattanville will go man up here for the final 51 seconds of the second quarter. And if necessary, 9 seconds to begin the second half. And Murray will take the face-off here against Dan Sagal.
This is a big face-off. Like I said, Valiants can get one back, another one here before the end of the half, down by 2 going into the third quarter. A very manageable deficit for the Valiants.
And that penalty going against Dan Decker, the best defender for FDU. So this is a huge face-off for Manhattanville. And a violation against FDU. Murray will take possession. He goes straight to the goal. That bouncing shot goes wide, but a penalty coming up. He may have been slashed on the play. And now a bench warning coming to FDU. Murray will come off the field momentarily to get his attacking stick. The penalty going to Dan Sagal, 30 seconds on the minor infraction.
Yeah, Murray charging in, got a few sticks kind of towards the thigh area, was able to fend him off and still get a pretty good shot on net. The FDU bench, though, not appreciating the call, and like you mentioned, Case, again, a warning by the official.
So a 7-on-5 for Manhattanville here. Excuse me, 6-on-4. 30 seconds left in the half. Big chance to change the momentum in this game. Murray along the left wing. Back to Cacavo. Thought about the shot. Leonard had some space. Gets it down to Morrissey. That shot goes wide.
Good job by the Valiants. Being unselfish, passing that ball up. Got a wide open shot to Morrissey, just a little bit off the mark.
16 seconds to go in the half. The Devils get one player back. Still a man-up opportunity for Manhattanville. Morrissey. Back to Leonard. And the Valiants will concede possession here in an attempt to start the second half with the ball without the faceoff. And so we will head to halftime with Manhattanville trailing by 3. 6-3 the score. And we will be back here in a few moments. 10 minutes put up on the clock for halftime. Manhattanville needing to get something going in the second half if they want to reach the postseason. Second half action coming up next. 6-3 the score at the half. FDU on top, Manhattanville, season on the line. Welcome back, Casey Shermick, Tyson Agler. Second half action just about to start. Tyson and Valiants will start the second half, I believe, with possession, as they held on without going to goal at the end of the first half. And there are 9 seconds remaining on the Decker slashing penalty. So what are the keys for Manhattanville here is to start the third quarter, trying to get back in this contest?
Well, big thing for Manhattanville, they have done a good job of getting shots on net, but a lot of their shots, you mentioned, Casey, they tried to go on the ground, take advantage of the slick surface. Tornoretta's done an excellent job in between the pipes of making some saves, so look for the Valiants to maybe try to go up top. And I was just going to say that you can't have empty possessions like that as the Valiants turn it over just a few seconds into the second half of play. You got to try to get some shots on goal, try to get this defense playing back on their heels. Another key, your defense has at times looked very good for Manhattanville, but then you get a sequence where FDU scored 4 unanswered goals. So defense needs to step up their play as well if Manhattanville wants to come away with this victory and keep their playoff hopes alive.
Electing not to go to goal at the end of the second quarter, trying to hold on for possession. As we mentioned, Manhattanville not exactly the greatest face-off team, so taking their chances to start the second half, but a costly turnover, and now back to even strength and back on the defensive end. Bellinger rolling left. Stick check up top by Godo. Now David Stewart slings it across. In front of the net, shot from a very tough angle. That one goes wide of everything. And the Devils will get to the sideline first. Dalton Rimmer to restart play. And again, the Devils will get there first.
Shot just a bit wide there as the Devils now trying to look for one of those bouncing plays, but went just wide of the cage.
Again, trying to set up the offense. Melnick on the right side, 22 against 22. And now back up top. Orazzetti, his pass knocked away by Asen. Ground ball trying to go to the junior. And on big check there, but coming away with the ball is David Stewart.
Good job there by Asen. Get his stick in the way, but you just got to come up with that ground ball as that's a big turnover avoided.
And now a shot ripped to the top corner by Dalton Rimmer. Rimmer, his first of the afternoon, 17th of the season. That one going right for the head of Zach Hoffman. Not much he could do but try to just put the stick up and try to get in the way. And unfortunately for Hoffman, unable to get a piece of it, so FDU extends the lead back to 4. Just under 13 minutes left to go in the half, and just to go back to your point, Tyson, about the ground ball on the sideline, Shane Wilson demonstrating how to pick up a ground ball. That was definitely a point of emphasis in the first half from head coach Ryder Bolander, and I'm sure a talking point at halftime.
Yeah, right there. That's a big play there. If Chris Asen picks up that ground ball, no goal there, but instead FDU gets it, they score the goal. And there's another opportunity. And Casey, that's an example which you said this is a game of just who wants it more, and ground balls are going to be show who wants it more, who's willing to get down and dirty and get that ball.
And we'll see if Manhattanville tries to pick up the tempo offensively here in the second half. A bit of a slow tempo in the first half for them on the offensive end, trying to get good looks. They did put 3 goals across. Andrew Murray, 2 of those. We'll see if they try to create some more isolation plays and let their attackers go to work.
I was going to say, Manhattanville has the athletes to do that, to just go at a team and just take advantage. As now Leonard was just getting ready to pull the trigger on that shot attempt as it taken away, and now we're going to get a foul, looks like, against Manhattanville in a turnover.
And Leonard has just not had the best day so far. A couple times we've seen him 2 shot attempts that have just gone straight into the ground on low attempts, and that pass attempt went straight to the ground as well.
Yeah, we've seen Leonard on the sideline warming up, trying to practice just throwing some passes with some of his teammates, but I said maybe just not his day for the young freshman.
And now offsides, and Ed Motherway just lays the boom on a FDU midfielder. And now we're going to get a penalty coming up against FDU. Just lowering the shoulder against Michael Ward and plowing his way into the offensive end.
Motherway, a big, strong guy. You can see his name all over the Manhattanville weight room for numerous strength and conditioning records, and he shows that power right there.
Duvall trying to get inside, bugged by Andrenga. Still going around, off the crossbar and wide. And a stoppage of play. And we will get the call, the penalty coming up against FDU. Foul's going against Michael Ward, offsides the foul on FDU. And Manhattanville will go man up for the 4th time today. Just 1 for 3 so far here in this one. A 30-second infraction for Michael Ward, so a brief man-up opportunity for the Valiants. We'll see if they can take advantage. Down by 4, a must-win game for the Valiants here today. Cavo thought about the shot, had a bit of space, but closed out on nicely by Dan Sagal. Now he'll let it fire, and he shoots and scores!
Cacavo loves that shot from up top. We saw him hit one Saturday against Wilkes. He's someone that can dial it up from deep. He's able to beat down past Tornado. A huge goal by the Valiants cuts the deficit back down to 3.
Cacavo, his 17th goal of the season. Leonard picking up the assist. That's his 11th point of the year. And it's back to a 3-goal game now. And again, we say it, pretty much every face-off from here on out is going to be huge in this contest. Giants need to find a way to get some face-off wins. That's been their Achilles heel in recent times and in recent years. And again, Will Kenny coming away with the face-off win for the Devils. He'll take it into the offensive end, gives it up to Bellinger, and he'll head to the sideline.
In case we mentioned how both these teams have struggled in the 3rd period of play. Both teams exchanging goals so far to start the 3rd quarter, so we'll see who tries to pull away here and try to take a lead going into the 4th.
Now entering his own was Melnick. He thought about trying to get to space. Now he likes to just play it behind. Ward slings it back across to the left side now. Orizzetti with Hahn guarding him, trying to go one way, changes directions, gives it in front, streaking attacker coming to the net. It was Ward, unable to connect on the pass. The ground ball goes to Melnick. Melnick up to Ward. Matt Bellinger picking up the foul on for FDU. 30 seconds for pushing along the far sideline. Manhattanville going man up once again. 1 for 4 so far on the day. And again, the Valiants caught a break on that last offensive possession for the Devils. Bellinger was wide open on the right side. Took the shot from a tough angle, but missed the 6x6 frame. And now the Valiants a chance to get back within 2 now, man up. They scored on their first possession of the day. As the rain continues to just splash around up here on top of the press box. Murray at the left wing. Time winding down, back to even strength. Shot from the top of the zone and put home by Will Duvall. Valiants get back to within 2. It's now 7-5, 8:36 to play.
Although it wasn't a man-up goal there, Casey, the defender's still not back in time to try to play defense there for FDU, so still Valiants able to take advantage up a man as Will Duvall has looked very nice here today. He mentioned only 1 goal in his last 3 games, now 2 goals here today as the Valiants continue to chip away at the deficit.
I believe they are going to credit Manhattanville with a man-up goal on that one, saying that Bellinger did not get back into the play by the time that Duvall scored. So, although the penalty expired, give Manhattanville a man-up goal and a big face-off win by Caton. Had the ball knocked away, but Ryan Leonard right there to collect the loose ball. We've seen the Valiants get on a run here at home a couple times this year. They're going to need that here as they try to get back into this contest, down by 2 now. Valiants trying to get Andrew Murray into the offensive end. Ryan Leonard finally coming across back behind midfield. And the senior makes his way up towards the attacking zone. Duvall with the behind the cage, trying to work his way around. Thought about trying to go for the shot. Now left-hand attempt. That one goes high, a race to the sideline, and it's going to stay with Manhattanville. Tristan Green getting there ahead of Michael Andrenga.
Yep, Green just had the extra step there on Andrenga, had a beat towards that line, was able to keep possession for the Valiants. Andrew Murray standing up top all alone. FDU not taking any risks. They're going to have a guy basically shadowing Murray because they know how dangerous the senior is.
And it's going to be Dan Decker tasked with that assignment, the best defender for FDU. But again, you got to imagine that Andrew Murray's going to be able to create some space for himself, as Bencherwitz created some space right there. Murray, one of the most explosive players on that second step, and he shoots and scores from the right side.
Andrew Murray with an absolute rip shot there. He goes top shelf where we've said the Valiants need to go, and Manhattanville starting to feel it now. 3 unanswered goals. They now trail by 1.
Little top shelf cheddar there from the senior. Closing in on that century mark, now 97 career goals. But more importantly, gets Manhattanville within 1. It's now 7-6, and Jake Caton, coming off that last faceoff win, will head back out there to try to do it again against Will Kenny.
Definite size advantage. Kenny towering over Jake Caton. Kane, though, was able to use his agility and athleticism to basically just scoop the ball under Kenny last time. We'll see if he tries it again.
Yeah, Kenny, a 6'4" midfielder, going up against Caton. Big size advantage, as you said. Caton almost came away with that one, but FDU is going to get it on the violation. And now a lot of disagreement from both sidelines. FDU will come away with the ball. Closing in on 6.5 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. The Valiants starting to put some offense together. They trailed 6-3 entering the second half. It's now 7-6. And we said expect a high-scoring contest. The offense has picked up. Devils looking to respond here on their offensive possession.
And we mentioned, Casey, how important this third quarter is, and Manhattanville has been the one taking advantage of it. A big save there by Hoffman as they've outscored the Devils 4-1 here in the quarter.
Great save, and now thrown away by Kakavo. Clear attempt, no good. And now up in transition. Bellinger thought about going with numbers. He looks to go to space. Ryder Bolander not happy from the sidelines, looking to his attackers to try to come back and get the ball on these clear attempts. Bellinger, a nice grab there on that pass that was off the mark from Stewart. Guido trying to work his way around. Now Orazzetti over to Stewart. Looking inside. Now he'll just sling this one behind. Quick ball movement. Orazzetti at the top of the zone. Gets it back down low. Loose ball on the ground, but a good job by Pat Stewart to just kind of knock it into space, and he'll collect the ground ball. Orazzetti, top of the zone, thought about the shot. Now over to Stewart. Back to Orazzetti. That rip goes high, and that one actually hit the crossbar of the soccer goal, so it will stay FDU possession. Now trying to get things going again. Inside, Bellinger hit hard, but it doesn't matter. He buries this one low on Hoffman. And Bellinger, his third of the game. brings him into a tie for the team and conference lead in scoring with his 39th of the year. So FDU, once again, Manhattanville trying to threaten, but FDU has the answer.
Yeah, big goal there by the Devils. As the Valiants had things rolling here in the goal department, they cut the deficit down to 1. But a big goal by Bellinger pushes the lead back up to 2, 6-8. Advantage FDU.
Still plenty of time left, 20 minutes of game action remaining. So again, no need to hit the panic button for Manhattanville. Caton, a big face-off win. Leonard, Motherway, Murray, Green, Duvall, and Morrissey, the attackers right now for Manhattanville. Motherway trying to go to work against Stewart. Gives it up. Morrissey now. Behind the cage looking for someone in front. Valiants trying to get some cutters going. Can't find anything. Morrissey, low shot, skipped, and now kicked into the cage. The initial stop by Tom Tornetto. It was at his feet, and as he went to back up to try to collect the ground ball, kicked it into the cage. And the Valiants will take it any way they can get him. Colin Morrissey gets credit for the goal.
And that's Morrissey's go-to play. He loves that play where he just kind of runs behind the cage, comes out right in front, and just goes low on the shot. Tornetta did have a beat on it, had the stick save initially, but just kicks it in his own net, and once again, Manhattanville back down by 1.
Morrissey, his 17th of the year, remains tied with TJ Kakavo for 3rd on the team. And once again, the elements continue to rage on here. Wind actually changing direction a little bit. A big third quarter for Manhattanville, outscoring FDU 6-3. And that leads to a goalie change for the Devils. Adam Reefer coming on in relief of Tom Tornetto, trying to stop the bleeding here against the Valiant offense that has caught fire here in the second half.
Valiants can take the lead for the first time here today on this possession. And like I mentioned, Casey, that third quarter was going to be big as both teams had struggled in third quarter, but Manhattanville got things going. Here comes Ed Motherway. He'll shoot. He'll score!
Ed Motherway puts him up 10-9. And that could potentially be a record scoring goal for Ed Motherway as he gives the Valiants the lead. Again, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, just 1 goal behind the program record for most game-winning goals. If the Valiants can hold this lead, that would put him in a tie for first place. But all records aside, more importantly, that gives Manhattanville the lead. And it gives them hope to make the postseason.
Yeah, we mentioned the Valiants need a win here today, need some help. A DeSales win and a Delaware Valley loss, and they will clinch a spot in the Mag Freedom Tournament. But Kenny comes up with a huge face-off victory. Now he's going to look for his second of the day, but that one bounces just high.
Will Kenny getting aggressive off of these face-offs, and that's where that size advantage comes into play. As we said, a much bigger Will Kenny going up against Jake Caton. Able to just push the ball forward, get the ground ball, and go straight to the cage. It worked for him in the third quarter, but not there. FDU keeps possession, however. Bellinger on the right wing, gives it back up top to Stewart. Now swing pass over to the left side now to Rimmer. Rimmer thought about going to goal, gives it back to David Stewart. Stewart around the screen. Going right against Leonard, gets some space, instead just flips it behind. Rimmer against Caton, trying to get to the right hand. Instead gives it to Orzetti. Low shot, skips past Hoffman. And that will tie things up and will take away momentarily the game winner for Motherway.
You gotta believe Orzetti and Bellinger are going to be the 2 guys that are going to be getting the ball for FDU. The top 2 scorers, Manhattanville. You got a guy like Andrew Murray who can take over, but you still have quite a few more offensive options. Will Duvall, TJ Kakavo, Ed Motherway, just saw it, and Colin Morrissey. Tristan Green so far someone that hasn't been able to find the back of the net tonight, so we'll see if he can get things going.
Soya Godo to take this face-off. Ball still loose. And a push against Manhattanville. That's going to go against Andrew Murray, so FDU will take possession. Dan Sagal on the restart. Gives it up to Bellinger. Bellinger goes around the Sagal screen and now swings it back up top to Rimmer. Rimmer against Caton. Slowly traveling behind. Caton right there, step for step. Tried to find a cutter in front. It was Michael Warg. Pass off the mark, a turnover by FDU, and Manhattanville will take possession. Kakavo on the restart. We like to go backwards to try to start the rush. Kelvis now cross field over towards Hahn. Hahn with some speed, changes directions. A nice rip through there as he gets past Orizetti and into the offensive zone. And Tyson, we mentioned a few minutes ago, looking towards the schedule for this week. It's not looking good for the baseball and softball here tomorrow as the rain continues to come down heavier and heavier as time goes on. Looking across the fields here, baseball field starting to become underwater, so it looks like they may have another postponement and season filled with them here as the Valiants turn that one over back to FDU.
Yeah, it just hasn't been too pleasant of a spring for our teams. At least weather-wise, record-wise, our spring teams have been off to some great success here. As we have potentially 4 teams that could be making an appearance in the conference tournament, depending on what happens here today, and big weekend for baseball as well.
Orizetti had it knocked away. Loose ball, Chris Ace in the ground ball. Kyle Kelvis to cause turnover.
Great job there by the Valiants as Manhattanville turned it over against FDU, and now they respond with a big turnover as well.
Valiants looking to set up, trying to slow things down and get their top goal scorer on the field. Venturowitz gets it into the zone. Now Murray makes his way into the attacking end as well. Just about 5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter, all tied up. 1 goal apiece in this final frame. Venturowitz inside, looking for Green. It finds its way all the way to Adam Reefer. And now that pass off the mark for Reefer, and the Valiants will take over deep in the offensive end.
And Reefer coming into the game might be a play there where you're coming in cold off the bench, just not a pass that you'd be able to execute there without any warm-up, so that might be a miscue there with him just coming into the contest.
Venturowitz, and the all-conference player last year, we saw him a season ago use that strength to create space. Murray, his 5th of the game, gives Manhattanville the lead.
Andrew Murray with an absolute blaze of a shot that you're not going to be able to find there as that one scorches past Reefer for the goal. Valiants back up on top.
And it doesn't really matter who you put in goal if you've got someone that can find the top corner with that kind of speed. Tough task for Reefer to come into the game and have that be one of the first shots he sees. And Murray puts Manhattanville back on top, now 11-10 with 10:18 to play. And we kind of half-heartedly joked around with Ryder Bolander during the week about how Murray needs just 6 goals in this contest. It would be something special to get number 100 here on the home turf. And we thought 6 was going to be a tough task to accomplish, but he's already at 5 here with 10 minutes to go, and you know that they're going to be looking for him down the stretch.
Yeah, he's the go-to guy. We saw in that Wilkes game, Valiants were down by 2. They gave Andrew Murray the ball and essentially just got out of the way, and Murray scored the last 3 goals of the game to help the Valiants rally to beat the Colonels.
Andrew Murray, 10 goals now in the last 2 games alone. Motherway going to work against Conrad. Goes right, looking for someone cutting in front, can't find anyone. And Now it's the Valiants that look to be complacent, slowing things down a little bit and getting a solid quality offensive possession.
You gotta wonder how trigger happy these officials are going to be for calling a potential shot clock violation, as that'll be canceled away as Murray once again looking to go long range on that shot.
Murray's had success from the right side. It was the left side where he scored the game-tying and game-winning goal against Wilkes this weekend. And that's where number 99 came a few moments ago. Can't find the cage, though, on that last shot attempt. Bentrowitz going right, using the strength, gets inside. A nice save on the bouncing shot by Reefer.
Big save there by Reefer. Bentrowitz was open, had a potential shot to push the lead up to 2, but was unable to get it to go as Reefer collects the save.
FDU can level the scoring. It's going to be Stewart to quarterback the offense for now. Looking for help entering the zone now. Melnick comes inside, gives it back to Stewart. Looking in front, nobody home. The Valiants doing a good job of packing down the area in front of the crease. Melnick back across. It's Rimmer going right. Plays it behind. Now cutting left, going right. Shot attempt. Nothing there for Melnick. That goes wide, but Morizzetti right there for the restart. Morizzetti. Hahn sends him to the turf. Double team coming. Ball out. Hahn, the ground ball. Turnover by Manhattanville.
Great job there by Sam Hahn, just staying with that one. He was able to cause the turnover. Big job by the Valiants to stand tall on the defensive end.
Now back to the offensive end where, again, Manhattanville looking for a quality possession. Up by 1 midway through the final period. The top scorers on the field: Motherway, Cacavo, Murray, Green, Morrissey, and Duval for Manhattanville. And now Cacavo will make his way off the field as Eric Sparby will enter the zone. One of the top assist leaders for this team. So, Valiants will give up a goal scorer. Looking for someone to find the open man. Morrissey wide open, can't finish.
What a great save there by Reefers. He was able to come over from his right to his left to collect that save.
Not sure how he recovered on that one. Not sure if Morrissey handled it completely cleanly as well. But a big save keeps it a 1-goal game, and a timeout called by Pat Scarpello. 11-10 the score, 6.5 to play. Both of these teams trying to keep their season alive with a win today. And we'll take a quick break during the timeout.
Sorry, we need a new press box. Oh my god. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm so hungry. That's why I love men's lacrosse. Stupid Trish trying to win next year.
6.5 to play. You can throw out all the stats and all the game plan. It all comes down to this: who wants it more to keep the season alive? That shot from Orizzetti, a nice save by Hoffman, and Orizzetti trying to play in the crease. Caton not appreciating that one, comes in and delivers the hit. And we've got an interference call, and it's going to go against Orizzetti getting inside the crease there, so a big stop by Hoffman.
Yeah, one of those plays like you see in ice hockey where you protect your goalie on that one, and that's exactly what Caton was, not appreciating the young freshman Orzetti trying to go up against Hoffman. So interference, Manhattanville will have the ball at midfield, and now they'll have the successful clear. And Casey, like I mentioned, you guys see how trigger happy these officials are going to be with that potential 30-second shot clock. Before the game, they were adamant, just making sure that we had a shot clock here at GoValiants.com field.
Yeah, 6 minutes left. Definitely too much time to try to play keep away for Manhattanville. They will stall for as long as possible, but if they get an open look, they're definitely going to take it here, trying to make it a 2-goal game.
And this is the guy you want to have the ball, Andrew Murray. They got him isolated. Now Murray going to look to drive. He's got an angle.
Murray thought about the pass, shoots just wide.
And that's the danger of Andrew Murray. He passed. Everyone was looking to see where that ball was. It was still in his stick, just off the mark on that shot.
And the Devils had Dalton Rimmer marked on him on that last possession, a midfielder. And Murray just blew right past him. We're going to have a penalty coming up here against Manhattanville as soon as Morrissey collects the ground ball. And so the Valiants are going to be called for tripping. It's going to go against Will Duvall for a trip, 1 minute. A huge man-up opportunity for FDU. Scoreless in their first 2 chances here today. Again, too much time to say that this penalty will decide the outcome of this game, but it will have a huge influence on it.
Yeah, if Manhattanville can continue their strong defensive play that we've seen here in the fourth quarter, only surrendering so far 1 goal here, that would bring some big momentum on the side for Manhattanville.
Biggest defensive stand of the season for Manhattanville. 2 of the top goal scorers in the conference on the field for FDU. Here's Orzetti. He's one of them. He shoots and he goes just wide.
Orzetti and Bellinger are going to be the 2 guys that FDU is going to want taking this shot.
Also keep an eye on Dalton Rimmer. A couple goals here today. He's had a couple great chances. 30 seconds on the man advantage. Looking to go across the zone. Up to Orzetti. Back across, shot, beautiful save by Hoffman. Diving effort in front was Melnick. Hoffman, ball scooted back to him, and he will collect the ground ball.
Huge save there by Zach Hoffman on the man-up advantage.
10 seconds to go on the Will Duvall penalty. Valiants get it up to Jake Caton. He will clear the zone and gets it up for a successful clear, and the man-up opportunity goes by the wayside. A big defensive stand for Manhattanville, and they will hold on to a 1-goal lead with 4:20 to play. Timeout called by Ryder Bolander.
I mentioned, Casey, if you could get a successful defensive stand there and not give up a goal, that would be some big momentum, and the Valiants pumped up as they came to the sideline as they were greeted by their teammates. 4:20 to go here in the fourth, up by 1. Big possession for both squads if Manhattanville can push this lead up to 2 late in the contest.
And you wonder what the strategy will be coming out of this timeout here. 4:20 to play. As we said, too much time to try to stall and run out the clock. These officials will not let that happen. And if you go too quickly, you leave enough time on the clock where Will Kenny has really dominated this face-off circle so far today. So we'll see how long Manhattanville will wait before trying to go to goal and who they will have take that final shot. You got to imagine Andrew Murray will be getting the ball for the majority of this possession, but you know that matchup also can create space for some of the other attackers, and Manhattanville's got plenty of them that can finish in key situations.
I was just going to say that, Casey, almost maybe even use Andrew Murray as a decoy, try to draw out a defender, give one of your other athletic players some space to try to put a shot on net, and they got some pretty good company out there for Andrew Murray.
Sparby remains on the sideline out of the timeout, so they will go with the 6 goal scorers here in the attacking end. Motherway, Bencherwitz, Morrissey, Duvall, Murray, and Green in the attacking end for Manhattanville. Bencherwitz will start with possession, gives it up to Motherway. Now gets it over It's Murray. Valiants continue to just move the ball around the outside of the zone. It's Green now behind the cage. Gives it up to Duvall. Duvall also one of those players that could quarterback this offense. He's up there second on the team in assists as well. And we'll see if they try to go with a little high-low game here. Venturewitz tried to get it in front, pass was blocked. Ground ball on the turf, still loose. And a violation coming against somebody. It's going to go against FDU, going to go against Dan Sagal for laying on top of the ball. And now they bring TJ Kakavo on the field. Venturewitz heads to the bench. Another goal scorer joining the force. Kakavo blows by a defender. He shoots and he scores!
Absolutely beautiful play by TJ Kakavo. Just a little juke move, got wide open, buries it in the back of the net. 3:14 to go, Valiants up by 2.
Kakavo, his third of the afternoon, gives him 19 for the season. 12-10 the score, 3:14 to play. And now a big face-off coming. Kenny has had a lot of success against Caton. We'll see if the speed and agility pays off. Kenny powers through. Ball still loose. Kenny goes for the ground ball. And eventually it goes to Rimmer. FDU with possession. 3:05 to play. Bellinger behind the cage. FDU's got to start to hurry a little bit. Bellinger trying to do it himself, now looking for help. Gives it up to Melnick. Melnick around the screen by Rimmer. Now gives it to Rimmer. Rimmer inside, wide open. Stewart shoots and scores. Back to a one-goal game, 2:36 to play. Still plenty of time remaining.
Good patience there by the Devils as they just waited. Finally got something open in the front of the net, and Stewart puts it past Hoffman for the goal. 2:36 to go, another big face-off. Kenny looking to stay dominant in the face-off circle. Jake Caton going to get a big call here to try to step up for the Valiants.
And look to Soya Goto and TJ Kakavo too on the wings trying to get this ground ball. We'll see if Caton can hold off Kenny long enough. Goto working his way back. Caton actually won it the other direction and it's scooped up by Decker. FDU now with possession again, trying to tie it up. Bellinger and Rimmer playing catch at the top of the zone. Now over to Stewart. He made it a one-goal game a few moments ago. Now Melnick thought about the shot, gives it to Stewart. Shot off the wrist of Hoffman, a big save. Ground ball picked up by Rimmer. 2 minutes to play. Season could potentially be on the line for both these teams. Orazetti ties it up. Nice sidewinding shot there from the freshman, Alec Orazetti. And we've got new life. Now Manhattanville needs to stop the FDU momentum.
In case we were in this exact situation on Saturday, opposite ends though, as it was Wilkes who was the one that had to rally, and they eventually took a 12-10 lead late in the fourth quarter. Manhattanville rallied off 3 unanswered goals to come with a 13-12 lead. Valiants now on the other end of the sword here, as they're now trying to fend off FDU's rally attempt.
Face off one back. Murray trying to race in. Kenny gets the ground ball.
Murray bumped there by the FDU player, giving just enough time for Kenny to come get that big face-off victory. Chance for FDU to reclaim the lead.
Rimmer going against Hahn. Bellinger behind the cage now. Now FDU can take the time a little bit. Orazetti circling around, finds Bellinger, knocked away. Ball loose on the ground. Kicked away now. Coming away with it is Hahn. A big ground ball from Manhattanville. Nice turnover there caused by the Valiants. 75 seconds to play. Manhattanville can pretty much hold for the last shot if they want. And a timeout is going to be taken by the Valiants. 1:12 to play, 12-12 the score. Season on the line. And this is the biggest possession Manhattanville has had in 2017. So again, similar situation to a few minutes ago when Ryder Bolander took a timeout. Tie score, 1:12 to play. Again, same situation. You want to go to goal and give yourself enough time if you don't score on the initial shot. But the way that FDU has dominated the faceoff circle, you can't give them enough time to win a faceoff and set up the offense the other direction.
Yeah, kind of an interesting catch-22 here. You know you got short time here trying to go towards the net, so you can't just allow the whole time to chew up and not get any good offensive opportunity and force overtime. But then, like you said, Case, you can't give too much time for the Devils to try to set up their offense and maybe try to tie it once again.
How much trust do you have in your defense? Do you go early and try to take the lead and hold on? Do you go play conservative, hold for the last shot, and if you don't get it, rely on your defense in overtime? A lot of strategy here in this timeout for both of these squads. I would imagine Manhattanville will try to hold this ball for about 45 seconds. Try to go to work with about 30 seconds left on the game clock. Gives you enough time to try to set up the offense, and if you don't score initially, get a second chance effort. It's going to be Motherway to start the restart here for Manhattanville. Motherway, Kakavo, Murray, Green, Duval, and Morrissey. The top 6 goal scorers on the field for Manhattanville. 60 seconds to play. Kakavo, top of the zone. He's guarded by Rimmer. Now 45 to play. Kakavo, Valiants still chewing up some clock. They get it to Murray. Murray going right, he's got space. And he elects to go with the tough angle shot. May have held on to that one a little too long. Reefer, the ground ball. Now it comes down to defense. FDU has had some trouble on these clears here this afternoon. Time winding down, they're gonna have to hurry. Reefer carries it across midfield with 15 to go. Reefer thought about taking it, now off to Bellinger. Bellinger knocked to the ground by Murray. Now Murray smothers him, and a timeout taken by FDU with 8.9 to play.
Thought Murray was going to hold on to that one as he was almost parallel with the post, but he elected to try to put a tough shot on goal. Good job, though, by Reefer. Just hugged that near post, and Murray unable to sneak it in, and a chance for FDU to escape here with a huge victory against Manhattanville and end the Valiants' playoff hopes.
Yeah, Murray had some space from the same area where he scored 3 or 4 of his goals today from on the right side. Held on to it a little bit longer. Thought he was just going to hold on to it and go behind the cage and try to reset the offense. Instead, like you said, Tyson, went for the tough shot, didn't get it. And now the Valiant defense is going to have a big task ahead of them with the conference's 2 best goal scorers on the field. 9 seconds to play. All tied up here, 12-12. And now this almost becomes, how risky do you want to play this defensive sequence?
Oh, no.
On the restart, it's Rimmer. Dalton Rimmer rips one home on the restart. 5 seconds to play. Manhattanville needs a miracle here to keep the season alive. Murray will take the faceoff. You've got to win it and go directly to goal. Faceoff's going to be won by Kenny, and that will do it. A crushing loss for Manhattanville here in this one. The clock did not start immediately on the face-off. Referees will blow it dead. And that will do it. 13-12 your final score. Dalton Rimmer, the game winner on the restart with 9 seconds to play. And the Valiants are left heartbroken here at GoValiants.com field today.
Shoe goes on the other foot here this time, Casey. We mentioned Saturday the Valiants were down 12-10 late in that contest to Wilkes after the Colonels had rallied, and they were able to score 3 unanswered goals to come away with a 13-12 lead. This time it was FDU that was able to rally from the Manhattanville 2-goal lead as they come away with a late goal, and they win by a score of that same 13-12, and a tough break for Manhattanville. And gotta tip your cap to these Valiants. They have fought all season, and they've really done a nice job of really kind of improving and taking the Manhattanville lacrosse program to the next step. Unfortunately, looks like the playoff hopes are slim for the Valiants to try to make it. We'll see how things shape up here at the end of the year, but if this is the last one, the future does look bright for this Manhattanville team.
One last chance on Saturday when they go to King's College in Pennsylvania for the season finale. Going up against the Monarchs, they need a lot of help these next few days and next few hours if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. A tough loss here today at home, 13-12 FDU, the game winner with 5 seconds to play. And like we said, the Valiant season needs a lot of help from here on out if they want to make the postseason. That'll do it here from Purchase, New York. Final score one more time, 13-12. Dalton Rimmer, the game winner for FDU. We thank you for watching. And until next time, this has been Manhattanville Men's Lacrosse on the Go Valiants TV network.